So let me spotlight Battleground, not because it was horrible, but because it was good. Stephen King's Battleground was originally published in the 1972 September issue of Cavalier. Based on the articles on the left, I can infer that Cavalier magazine was about cooking, travel, banking, and stamp collection. Stephen King would republish Battleground in his short story collection of 1978, Night Shift. As I said in the main Nightmares and Dreamscapes review, Battleground is the story of a hitman, Renshaw, who fights a bunch of Green Army men. That's pretty much it. There's some exposition about how he's a hitman and his last victim was a toy maker and the like, but it's pretty much just the battle. And it's a very brief King short story, like less than 10 pages. It's to the point and it works well. The very best thing you can do with an adaptation is improve on the source material. And that is what Brian Henson and crew managed to do with Battleground. The original story has almost no dialogue. Richard Christian Matheson, the teleplay writer, clearly took that to an extreme here by cutting out all dialogue. Unless you wanted to count announcements at the airport, but none of the characters talk. It's extremely risky to have no dialogue at all. I think it works here, though it is a little awkward at times. I mean, why not just have a minimal amount of dialogue? Sometimes characters probably would say something, like if they get shot in the knee. There would probably be a long string of profanities after something like that. They pretty much have to have the main character say nothing, though, because he's played by William Hurt. William Hurt has been delivering many lifeless lines in countless movies over the years, films like Lost in Space or Dark City. Add to that his often expressionless face, and it actually works here. Look, it's a hitman who's a few words and has a face like that. His horrendous weaknesses as an actor actually end up being strengths in this one role. All joking aside, William Hurt is definitely great here. His character radiates menace and cold. You get the impression that his character is a man who's always in control until this day. This day, stuff unravels for him, and despite that, he remains pretty cool for the most part. There are only two other actors really worth mentioning here. We've got Mia Sara doing a cameo on the plane, because she's Brian Henson's wife, and you've got Bruce Spence playing the toy maker who gets killed. Bruce Spence, who's probably best known for the Road Warrior movies, the last two. Here he seems to play a very nice toy maker character, you know? He seems friendly and everything, and then he's shot to death. Anyway, acting performances here are impressive. It's all eyes, facial expressions, body language. Well acted, directed, and scripted. Without dialogue, all the other sound becomes all the more noticeable. All the hundreds of little sound effects scattered throughout this piece, but especially the noises of the Little Green Army men's weapons. When you've got a battle taking place in one man's apartment, sound effects have to be pretty damn good. Now, how is music? Good, huh? Jeff Beal got an Emmy for this, and I think he deserved it. This is a subtle score. He could have done a big booming score for like the war sequences and all that, but he went with something subtle, lots of strings and piano. I think it works better. In my main review for Nightmares and Dreamscapes, I said that most of them had horrible CGI. Well, Battleground has spectacular visual effects. Director Brian Henson and visual effects supervisor Sam Nicholson really mapped out their shots here. They knew exactly what they wanted to do visually, but they had to. You see, they were basically making two films in the battle sequences. One from the perspective of Hitman Renshaw, and one from the perspective of the little toy Green Army Men. The effects of these little Green Army Men are better than if they were pure CGI. You see, they actually filmed actors in plastic costumes. They look like plastic Green Army Men, faceplates and the like. They took these shots that they did on blue screen and scaled them down and put them into the shots they took of the apartment. So it looks more real than if it was just CGI. It looks incredible, and it's odd to think that the same series that produced a CGI snake fight did all this in Battleground. So consider checking out Battleground, the best of the Nightmares and Dreamscapes episodes. It's still not scary, but it's enjoyable. Until next time, this has been J. Matt Wygand of Reviews from Purgatory.